Thank you, Ásdís, and thank you, all of you, for being here today. I'm really impressed with the number of attendees today, and I think this shows that we were not completely off the mark when we decided to organize a conference on carbon capture and storage. I believe it is of particular relevance today and of importance for the EEA. We heard, of course, from previous speakers, and it was noteworthy also from the commissioner, that the acknowledgement that in order to achieve the ambitious goals for the climate, we will need carbon capture and storage. And it is, of course, the fact that Norway and Iceland are in the forefront when it comes to carbon capture and storage with innovative solutions, and have potential to contribute substantively in this respect. And the important thing is, of course, that we have one European market in this respect. We heard earlier people discussing whether or not to count Norway and Iceland in with the others and the rest of the EU in this respect. But the EEA agreement, of course, means, and the regulatory framework incorporated into the EEA agreement means that these common rules and this common European market, when it is developed for carbon capture and storage, will also be those will also be the market rules for Norway and Iceland. We are, of course, also this year, as we have tried to mention in a very subtle manner throughout the day, celebrating 30th anniversary of the EEA agreement. So if you have not noticed that we are celebrating 30 years of the EEA agreement, we have been doing something we're doing that very badly, but I hope you have noticed. And that is actually, in a sense, a big achievement also, because we are also more or less at this juncture celebrating 30 years of an internal market in the EU. So basically the EU internal market has developed in tandem with the EEA. So in that respect, there is good reason to celebrate this junction. But the EEA agreement has developed over these last 30 years. And a part of this evolution is the fact that climate legislation is now part of the agreement. And this has led to significant growth of new technical tasks for the EFTA Surveillance Authority, where we mirror, on the one hand, the European Commission, and on the other hand, the EU agencies. And the field of carbon capture and storage is a perfect illustration of this. Because beyond the traditional role of ESA in monitoring implementation of EEA law, we will be playing a major role in ensuring the correct application of EEA law through these new tasks that have been entrusted to us. And this includes monitoring of progress towards targets, issuing reports that provide oversight of development in different fields, and issuing recommendations, decisions, or opinions where relevant. And with these tasks, these new tasks across different fields, the nature of ESA has, of course, developed. We are not only a supervisory body, but also have regulatory tasks that mirror the role played by the EU agencies. And this is both a welcome opportunity and a challenge. We will increasingly have to have the competence to interact and engage with technical experts in different fields. And our success in that will be fundamental for the credibility of the EEA agreement going forward. So the EFTA Surveillance Authority is therefore a developing organization, different from the one which was set up 30 years ago. But despite the dynamic nature of the EEA agreement, its fundamentals remain the same, and it has this unique institutional setup. The two-pillar structure, Ásdís reminded us all of, where the institutions on the EEA, EFTA, and the EU sides mirror each other. Separate surveillance bodies where the surveillance competences of ESA mirror those of the Commission, and a deep integration on substance with the application of common rules across the European Economic Area. Common rules help ensure fair and equal market conditions. They are essential for economic growth and the welfare of our citizens and businesses. The work of the EFTA Surveillance Authority really starts once the EU acts are incorporated into the EEA agreement. This is a living agreement, and as I alluded to earlier, developments in recent years in the field of environment and climate change have had a significant bearing on our work. We have seen much legislative activity in these areas, and that is likely to continue for the foreseeable future, as we all know and recognize. The CCS directive was incorporated into the EEA agreement in 2012. The directive has rules on the permitting, monitoring, risk management, and site closure. It also contains rules on third-party access to transport and storage facilities in a fair and open market. On the other hand, the directive leaves it up to the states if they want to allow CCS on their territory or not. Among the EFTA EEA states, Norway and Iceland have decided to allow for the development of CCS. This sector has also seen recent amendments to the ETS directive concerning the transport of CO2, which is a key element of the CCS value chain. In our role, we have supported the development of the Norwegian Longship project, having in 2020 approved the Norwegian government's financial support of up to 2.1 billion euros. And this decision is actually the largest single state aid approved by the EFTA Surveillance Authority. We are now engaged in the storage permit process for the Longship project and the Carbfix project. In the EFTA pillar, ESA is tasked under the directive with providing an opinion on draft CO2 storage permits, which are prepared by the national competent authority. Such task helps ensure consistency and the implementation of the requirements of the CCS directive across the EEA. It should, however, be borne in mind that the permits are, in the end of the day, issued by the national competent authorities. The director of the Icelandic Environmental Agency will be sitting in the next panel and will have the opportunity there to explain the role of the national authority in more detail. But we will, through our surveillance, monitor the implementation of the directive throughout the lifetime of the projects. And before concluding, let me just underline the value of the common rules of under the EEA agreement, which ensures that the market for CCS solutions is open for Norwegian and Icelandic companies, that similar procedures and requirements are set and applied for CCS projects across jurisdictions, that this market is built on fair competition, and that processes needed to protect the environment and safeguard people's health and well-being are properly respected. Exchange and cooperation is key to deliver on our mandate at ESA, and I want to say thanks to the national competent authorities and to the European Commission, with whom we work very closely to ensure the application of common rules with regard to CCS, as we do in other areas of environment and climate. I look forward to see the panel take over now and discuss in greater detail how we, together with different actors involved, can make this market that operates and will operate and should operate under the same uniform rules work for the future. Thank you.